Okay, so we're back with another tier list video here today. Now last time we did the alphabet tier list where we ranked all 26 letters from A to Z. Today we are doing something very similar, but instead we're going to be ranking numbers. Now we're going to be looking at numbers from 0 to 9 and seeing which ones are better than the rest. As a bonus though, we'll add 5 more special numbers to the list, of which have no significance to the first 10. Once again, there's absolutely no logic or reasoning for any of these rankings except my own opinion. Alright, here we go. Alright, so we're starting with 0 today. Now 0 is a very important number, whether it's being used to differentiate levels of numbers, or being the account balance in my bank account, or how many views this video will probably get. 0 is the basis of all numbers, and we wouldn't be where we are today without it. So starting off strong, we're going to rank 0 in the S tier. Next off, we got 1. 1 is a pretty solid number. It's the first real number that has any intrinsic value, whether you're going from 1 or 10 or 100 or so on. It signifies a fresh start in the number world, and it's very reliable, so it's an easy A tier placement for me. Okay, so moving on to 2. 2 is an interesting number. As the famous Chinese saying goes, good things come in pairs. Whether it's the yin and the yang, or a double rainbow, or even a nice pair of socks, you aren't truly complete if you don't have 2 of something. 2 is a good number that only signifies positive things, so we'll put in the A tier for now. Now we have 3. 3 is the backbone of everything we know, whether it's at the subatomic level with an electron consisting of 3 quarks, or at the cosmic level with Earth's position in the solar system. Everything both big and small revolves around the number 3, so for those reasons, 3 is an S tier ranking number. Okay, so now comes 4. 4 is the very common everyday number with average significance in my opinion. It kind of just shows up everywhere, whether it's a 4-way stop, the suits in a deck of cards, or the 4 basic operations of math. Nothing outstanding about the number 4, so it rightfully goes into the C tier. Okay, now we're moving on to 5. 5 is a cool number because you can easily divide anything that ends in a 5 or a 0 by 5. You also have 5 fingers on each hand, and one of the most famous logos, the Olympic rings, is made up of 5 rings as well, so all in all, 5 is pretty cool, so it'll get a B tier ranking from me. So next up is 6, which in all honesty is a pretty bland number if you think about it. It's hard to easily divide numbers by 6, find things that come in bundles of 6, and you usually start the long grueling process of school when you're around 6 years old. So overall, nothing great really happens with the number 6, so we'll slot it into the C tier. Okay, so now we get to my least favorite number in this entire list, which is 7. First off, 7 is the only single digit number that has more than one syllable. The multiplication table for 7 is easily the hardest to remember. And when was the last time that someone was thrilled about getting 7th place in any event or competition ever? The number 7 genuinely just pisses me off, so it gets the first F tier of our rankings. Alright, next up is 8. 8 is a pretty neutral number if you think about it. It's hard to think of things that come in groups of 8 really. 8 is more of a filler number in most ways, so I guess we'll put it in the C tier for now. And lastly, to complete the first 10 numbers is number 9. 9's a pretty chill number in my books. It's the last number in every set, whether it's the tens, thousands, or millions, and it signifies a new start. Number 9 can signify many different things though, so for that reason alone, it gets an A tier ranking from me. Alright, so the last 5 numbers that we got here are kind of random and I just kind of picked them out with no real reasoning behind it, but they're number 10, 13, 24, infinity, and any negative number. Let's start with number 10. 10 is one of the most important numbers out there and the first double-digit number as well. It's used for literally everything, whether it's a ranking system from 1 to 10 or the base 10 number system that is used in math, or the amount of hours it takes me to make one of these videos. 10 is kind of everywhere and we wouldn't know what to do without it, so it's an easy S tier ranking for me. Next up we have 13. 13 has never been used in a good context, whether it's Friday the 13th, the fact that most buildings don't even have a 13th floor, or the main number of a truly awful TV show. 13 just can't get anything right, so unfortunately it has to go into the F tier as well. Alright, next up we got 24. 24 shows the hours in a day, which everyone around the world uses. The 24-hour clock is also superior to the 12-hour clock, and anyone who says they can't read it, they're just not trying hard enough. 24 is the all-signifying number of time, so we'll put it in the B tier where it rightfully belongs. Next up, we got infinity. Now, infinity isn't really even a number when you think about it. It's more of a concept. But since we all think of it as a number, I guess we can include it into this ranking. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of infinity since it never truly ends, and the idea of going on and on for something so pointless seems ridiculous to me. Infinity, make up your mind, and until then, you'll go into the D tier. And last but certainly not least, we have any negative number. These numbers just piss me off because in reality they don't truly exist. They're just there to make math more confusing than it already is, and to make you upset when you see a negative number in your bank account. A negative number is never a good thing, so for that reason it has to go into the F tier. And there you have it, that's our tier list done and dusted. Honestly, it looks pretty solid to me. You can let me know where you'd rank these numbers if you had the chance to, but once again, I don't think it can compare to the masterpiece I've put together here. Honestly, I'm having fun making these tier list videos, so stay tuned for more, and I'll see you next time.